Looking to buy a house here in the Chicagoland area? Maybe you've already been looking for several months and getting outbid in multiple offer situations, and now the mortgage interest rates have spiked and you're still continuing to look at homes and your home search seems like it will never end. Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you my top tips for this changing real estate market and how to buy a house, so keep watching. What is happening, everybody? This is Austin Weiss, your go-to real estate agent right here in the Chicagoland area. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button, tap that bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. I do a ton of video content all about what it's like to work, eat, live, and play right here in the Chicago Metro. And if you are planning to buy, sell, or invest in real estate anywhere across Chicagoland, you can always reach me by phone, text, email, days, nights, weekends, and I would absolutely love to connect with you and help you in any way possible. All right, so to kick things off, let's discuss the state of the market and what's happening. I'm going to cover where we came from, where we currently are, and my prediction for where we could be headed. So where we just came from, it was an extreme seller's market. Homes were selling in minutes, very quickly for well above asking price because there was so much demand due to the low mortgage interest rates. There was 10, 15, 20 offers on a house, and you basically had to give the seller every single thing they ever asked for, and it was just crazy and very frustrating for a lot of my buyers who were trying to get into a family house and just trying to get into their very first house to start whatever they needed to do for their life. Right now, in the current state of the market, essentially mortgage interest rates have doubled year over year. I'm starting to get people pre-approved above 5%. Some people are starting to get pre-approved above 6%. What this has done is decreased the amount of demand. People are not able to afford the type of house they want to. They've gone back to renting, and it has reduced the amount of bidding wars out there in the market. You're starting to see some houses days on market creep well above 30 days. So I think that's going to be a trend that will continue. And I've actually just looked at the chart for the supply year over year. And last year we had record low inventory, and this year's inventory is even lower. So what I think will happen is that will contribute to prices stabilizing. They're not going to go dropping like we saw in 2008. And there's also a couple other factors that will contribute to why I don't think prices will go to the bottom like it did in 08, including the fact that we're in a labor shortage. There's more jobs than there are people that are willing to fill them. So back in 08, we actually had people being laid off left and right. Unemployment was pretty much at an all-time high, and right now that just is not the case. Another factor is, if you do some research, and you could probably type this into Google after you watch this video, the fact that there are major corporations out there that are buying up billions of dollars worth of residential real estate across the country. Those homes will never become available to the general public for sale ever again. They'll always be traded in a portfolio and rented out to renters forever. And I believe that this will buoy the real estate market, which will keep prices stable and keep them from dropping. But unfortunately, in the back end, our Gen Z and millennial generations will probably pay the price for this, as there won't be as much inventory and available homes to purchase. So what does this mean for buyers and sellers looking to do something with real estate here in the near future? Essentially, with the looming fear of the recession and decreased purchasing power because of higher mortgage rates, it has reduced the bidding wars, and we are beginning to see a more balanced market, which is actually a good thing in my opinion, where homes will begin to sit on the market for a little bit longer period of time, and home buyers will be able to negotiate terms once again on their contract. So what I would recommend is you be patient with your offer process. Go find the houses in the neighborhoods that are desirable to you, and then don't panic when interest rates increase, because you know that in a few years when those interest rates go back down, you'll be able to refinance, but you're still living in your favorite home in the neighborhood that you wanted the most, and that's exactly what you needed to do. So let's move into how do you put together an offer to make sure that you're getting your favorite house, favorable terms for this particular market. Hey, if you want access to my free home purchase guide, all you have to do is leave a comment down below and I'll send you a link directly to that PDF. Okay, so my negotiation hacks are mainly for properties that do not have another offer on them. If you're submitting an offer on a highly desirable home that has multiple offers, you can watch my How to Win the Bidding War video right here. I made that several months ago when the market was crazy and I was submitting offers on homes with 10, 15, 20 offers on them. But for this scenario, for the current state of the market, if you're submitting an offer on a house where you're going to be the only offer, I would highly recommend you consider doing some of these hacks. So first and foremost, you can ask for closing cost credits back from the seller. I would recommend putting a home warranty in your offers. That way, if something breaks down on the home after the closing, you're covered. Inspection repairs, you can actually have the seller fix stuff nowadays because you're not having to buy the house as is anymore. And then also have a chat with your lender and see if you can buy down your interest rate and what that would cost. Again, time is on your side. Now that the days on market will begin to creep upwards and it's going to go over that 30, 60 day mark. We'll see what happens here in the next few months, but I highly anticipate that to happen. Be patient with your offers. It's possible the seller will come down on their price and make a price reduction and will be softer on what they will take for their house. And I also recommend that you be patient when you're making your offers. So for example, I just submitted an offer on a Friday recently. The seller kind of ghosted us for 24 hours. So I went back to my buyer and I said, do the same thing back to them. Don't get back to them until Monday. What this did is it caused a lot of anxiety amongst the seller and the seller's agent, where they ended up calling me several times on that Sunday, shot me a bunch of messages, but we chose to not reply. Basically, what I wanted to see is how eager were they to work with us. And after receiving several messages, I found out that we were basically the only offer they were ever going to get. And they were very eager to do business with us because we submitted an offer at 97% of asking price. So we waited till that Monday. And then I went back to my buyer and I said, give them options. Make 2 counter offers to them. So offer them a higher price or give them a lower price to buy the house as is. And essentially the seller took the higher price because they thought their house was immaculate, but the inspection found some items and I think they're going to end up spending a few $1,000s in repairs. So last but certainly not least, when you're submitting an offer on a house, I highly recommend you have your real estate agent pull comparables to see if the seller's crazy with their asking price or not, or what fair market value for a similar house is that sold recently in that particular neighborhood. And if you're still trying to figure out where the heck that you should move to, which neighborhood you want to concentrate on, or which towns you're considering for yourself and your family, you can watch my video on where to live in Chicagoland right here. And I did an entire Top Chicago Suburbs series, which I will put down in the description box below for you to browse on your own. But along with all those negotiation hacks, choosing which lender you team up with to purchase your house is going to be very important, because you're actually going to be putting that in your offer that you're going to submit to the seller. So before you ever go look at a house, before you ever submit an offer, you want to talk with 3 or 4 different lenders and kind of compare customer service, communication skills, and of course the fees and the interest rate on the loan. If for some reason you're chatting with someone and you really can see yourself doing business with them, but their rate's higher than someone else, take the lower interest rate and see if they can match it over at the other place, because that's highly common right now, especially because interest rates have been fluctuating. And I've had several buyers take offers from one lending institution but prefer to work with another one, and then the one that they prefer with will match that interest rate. If you need help with any lenders, I have a ton of people that I work with here locally that would be a great fit for you. All right, so last but certainly not least, and I know I mentioned this in most of my videos that involve making an offer on a house, but you need to find an agent that knows the ins and the outs of how the game is played. You need an agent that's an absolute pit bull at negotiating and knows when to push and when to pull back, and is very savvy with what to ask for, especially when it comes to price, terms, and inspection issues. You also need an agent that communicates well, not only with you as the buyer, but with all the parties involved, including your attorney, the other seller's agent, the inspector, your insurance person, and anybody else involved in the transaction. You want to make sure that they're not afraid to pick up the phone and say something. If you have any questions about anything I put in this video, leave me a comment down below, or you can reach out to me directly by phone, text, email. I would absolutely love to connect with you and help you in any way possible if you are thinking about buying, selling, or investing in real estate here in the Chicago Metro. But until next time, I'll catch you guys later.